As always, pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is public audience. Anybody? All right. Committee reports and BOE communications.
It's kind of a lot today. All elementary schools had different Valentine's celebrations, celebrating with their school community, and all elementary schools are gearing up for report card conferences. Specifically, Two in Hills this past Saturday had their annual Two in Hills night at the Wolfpack game, and 4th, 5th, and 6th graders sang before the game. Terrifield's planning their 100-year celebration that will take place September of next year. At the middle school, they hosted Neon Night on the 21st with over 300 students in attendance. Last week, Deacon Art Miller spoke with the middle school students about Black History Month, and coming up on March 7th, they will be holding their first ever 3v3 basketball tournament with staff and students. At the high school, we hosted a unified basketball tournament last week with 12 teams from 6 different schools. And then for conference champions in wrestling, Ethan Quinn and Max Kanaka were the 2 champions. And for the state champions in different sports, for track and field, it was Emma Hornituko, Charlotte Deviney, Sophia Smith, Kylie Ritchie. For shot put, it was Marshall Potter, Max Kanaka in wrestling. And for upcoming events at the high school, we have the Unified Theater performance on March 4th, post-art culinary competition on March 4th, and DECA State Conference.
Congratulations to the winners there. That's great. That's awesome. Josh?
No updates right now.
Jess?
Nothing for me.
Brian?
Not tonight.
Lydia?
Yes. Sorry about that. So a couple things that are going on. I was in DC twice over the past month, and on behalf of National School Board Association. And I don't have to tell you what's going on in DC and the tenor of what is happening in the city and how everyone feels. But we did have a chance to meet with our congressional delegation. We were only able to meet with aides, obviously, and none of the actual legislators. But things are very tumultuous down there. Things are still. Everyone is holding their breath. They don't have much to say to us. We asked them a lot of questions, but we're just going to have to wait and see. We did walk by the Department of Education, and I got to tell you, in all my years I've been going down, this is the first time the place looks shuttered, quiet. We've always had access to go in there, and this year we obviously did not have that opportunity. But that's where we are in DC, so we're still we're holding our breath. We're just waiting to see what is going to happen with Department of Education. Closer to home, you all know that we got the $40 million in the special ed, funding. So we're very.
Well, he didn't get $40 million.
Thank you.
I
like to think that we were special. Yes, the $40 million came that the state legislature, Connecticut, has gone through and is allocated for all the districts in the state of Connecticut for the special ed and excess cost grants. So, but that didn't come without a lot of advocacy efforts on our parts, and we've got to continue to hammer it home. It is very crucial, especially now. I say this every year, more so than ever, but especially now is the time that we really need to be very vigilant, speak with our legislators, and continue doing what we're doing. Public hearings are still going on. I have to testify next week on behalf of something, I forgot which one, but obviously it's education related, but this is where we are at this pace. So it's very fast paced at the Capitol, with good reason, so very slower pace in DC, but it's important that we just keep showing who we are, what we need it for, and I know Matt with CAPS is doing the same thing as we were doing with CABE and other districts. So
we sent in testimony, Katie Crusul and I, on the excess costs.
Yes, thank you.
So that's what Lydia is referring to. The $40 million would actually fill the hole in the current year if it does go through, and I think the governor has to put a stamp on it. And I know
it does.
Some
it's already going
questions
through.
on
Yes,
that, but
a
little tension. But that would be the current year dollars we talked about, how the percentage was reduced And to us, it was a hit of about $450,000 in the
Right.
current year. So it would be extremely helpful
Yeah.
if that did.
But yeah, and this is really an unprecedented, you know, allotment, you know, that we got this year. And again, now we're thinking what's gonna happen 26, 27, because as soon as we're done with this year, you know, we roll into what's gonna go on for next year. So, you know, we have to thank the legislators for throughout Connecticut, you know, for being on our side, you know, to push this through. It's been a long time coming, but nothing is a given, nothing is granted yet until it comes through. So, and of course, you know, it's definitely going for the right reasons and for all the districts. So that's where we are with that. And Day on the Hill is March 12th. Day on the Hill will be March 12th. So if anyone is interested to go there, and if anyone's interested in testifying we can help you with that and get you set up with anything. You can do virtual or be there in person. So that's where we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah.
I can report on our curriculum meeting. We had a curriculum meeting last week, and it was a long one. It was probably 2 hours, and we talked about the K-3 Science of Reading update, because the state of Connecticut is demanding that we use a program that they are recommending, and they had 7 of us to choose from, and through Sue Lemke explained all of the details to that, and discussed, and then Betsy Gonzalez discussed how we are going to incorporate it in vetting, and how she vetted the curriculum to actually choose benchmark advance. I think they felt that it was closest to what our curriculum is, even though it's not isn't ours just per se, but that is going to be something that we're going to discuss here again shortly, and we'll have to make a decision whether it's the direction we want to go. It was a very extensive work was done and discussion was had, so you can look forward to that coming. We had a math update because we've switched to a new math program through K-5, and now this year it's been rolled out. Think Math. It is being well appreciated by the students and the teachers. So that is going very well, happy to say about that. And the students, even the students who had the pilots last year, are doing better transitioning to the next year. So there's a lot of good data on that program. We also talked about 2 textbooks that we are going to hopefully implement. They are for AP English, sophomore? AP Lang sophomore year? Junior year. One is The Odyssey, in a graphic novel, which is really pretty interesting. And then the second was a book by John Green called The Anthropocene Reviewed, and it is short stories, and it is it's really cool, and you should look it up if you want to know more about it, or Sue has options if you want to look at it. But it's a very real world level of talking about experiences and being analytical, and it's nonfiction, and it's a great way to teach our students. I was really impressed by it.
And all of those 2 texts and the formal curriculum adoption will come before the board this spring. Before use.
But if you're at all interested, Sue does have those books, so please feel free to stop by and borrow them and take a good look.
Nothing right now.
Just as we head into March, it's hiring and recruiting season. Starts tomorrow night. Cindy Freelinger and I will be at St. Joe's for their recruiting fair, and then off to Central Connecticut and Yukon in the next few weeks, and looking at the next generation of teachers and hoping to find the best ones for here in Simsbury. So that all starts right now and will carry on throughout the spring. So always an exciting time of year.
Are you are you finding the fairs still as useful as maybe you did 10 years ago? I guess what I'm asking is, has recruitment changed?
Yeah, they slowed down after
Yeah.
COVID.
Uh-huh.
They died
Yeah.
during COVID,
Yeah.
and then have just come back.
Okay.
And yeah, you're getting more electronic reach out than you used to.
Okay.
But I think that the schools of education are trying to reemphasize the power of face-to-face networking.
Yeah.
So, like last year, St. Joe's sort of canceled class and made everybody come.
Yeah.
Like, so that was a better fare,
Yeah.
like you get everybody there,
Mhm.
and so we'll see.
Awesome.
It's always good to be out there.
Great. Amy? I've got nothing either. Mr. Curtis?
Just wanted to share that on Friday, we have once a year, and it's about mid-year, we pull our administrative council, our district administrators for the entire day. We call it like a retreat, but what we do is we go right in town over to the firehouse. They give us their space. It's really a nice space to use for the day, and we engage in a series of different kind of strategic planning activities, some team building. We really did a deep dive and review into the draft, the next iteration of the strategic plan, and got some great input and feedback from people, and that plan is in really good shape. And in short order, we'll be bringing it to the full board for a review, so I feel really good about that. But just a great day. As educators, we don't get a chance, our leadership group, to do that enough. And I really appreciate the engagement level and the energy they bring to that work. And we spend quite a bit of time, we call it like your 30, 60, 90 plan of really looking forward to the year end and what are the key pieces we want to get done in each of those building communities. So very productive day, and just figured I would share that with you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Moving on to actions. Approval of the minutes of the February 8th workshop. Budget workshop.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the February 8th budget workshop.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Just a quick, since Katie's not here, I just want to make sure, is somebody taking
I've got it. That's what I've been doing furiously over here.
Just kind of came to me, I was like, we can do it.
We can do it
I
without
got
it.
you. I got you.
So I got very nervous. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, approval of the minutes of the February 11th meeting. Can I get a motion?
A motion
Great.
to approve?
Is there a second?
I'll second. Sorry.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
I'll abstain as well.
2 abstentions.
I can't second it because I wasn't at the meeting.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Don't hit me. I abstain.
I think you can.
Sure you can,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's okay.
I'm just
I
don't clean.
Mr. Watson.
Acceptance of the class of 2025 gift.
Great, so there's actually 4 gifts for the Board of Ed's consideration tonight, and in alignment with your policy, any gift in excess of $1,500 requires your board approval. So tonight we actually have some special guests, Brendan Russell, who's the class president of 2025, and Mr. Keith Berthume, science teacher, but also is the class advisor for the senior class. So the gift, there's actually pictures in your folder, is for a 26-inch Victory Bell, which will be held outside the athletic entrance to increase school spirit. So every time we have a big win,
Nice.
that bell's gonna be rung. So Brendan, anything that you would like to additionally share about this?
String or something. It's right here.
As of right now, the 26-inch bell unfortunately did fall through our hands. In the fall we had it, but as of now, the company that we're going through, they're based out of Ohio. They sold that bell. I'm still in contact with the representative, and he said we'll have a similar bell mid-March, early April, so that should not be a problem.
Oh, it's
The
a
mock-up.
mock-up.
Yeah, he gave me
Like,
those
what happened to
renderings.
this bell?
That is not there.
We're really hoping you approve it.
The placement's kinda high.
It is high, yes. It should be lower on them.
But just wanna thank Brendan, he's been great about communicating back and forth and also communicating to the families and to his peers regarding this senior gift because they're utilizing class dues in order to do that. So there is a motion there for your consideration.
I move that the proposed gift of the Victory Bell valued at $8,000 to Simsbury High School by the class of 2025 be approved.
Second.
Awesome. Any discussion? Josh?
I think it's a great gift. I'm just curious, how'd you guys come up with that idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, There's some schools that I took inspiration from nearby. Esther Walker has one in Simsbury, Loomis Chafee, Avon Old Farms, St. Victor Bells, and talking just to students there, they really enjoy it, and I think it's a really cool idea to bring students closer together.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Jen, did you want?
Yeah, is this, I don't know, and I apologize because I have short-term memory problems apparently, but do classes every year give such a, I mean, this is
They do
This is a
not.
very
amazing gift.
They do not, and that is why it was very important for
Okay.
Brendan and the class officers to communicate.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's very cool.
Any more discussion?
It's great.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much.
It was good seeing you again.
See you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for, I'm glad I came.
Bye, you guys, thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good meeting.
Thank you. The second gift for your consideration today is from the David Krakoff and Sydney Hoffman Charitable Fund. It's a gift of $5,000, and this is going to be used to help defray costs for students in financial need who may want to participate in different experiences. And the donation is made in honor of Greg Hoffman, who is a member of the class of 1970. There's a motion there for your consideration.
I'll move that the proposed gift of $5,000 from the David Krakoff and Sydney Hoffman Charitable Fund be approved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. So what is considered educational experiences for students in need?
I would say that there is a broader definition that's going to be left up to the discretion of the administrators, right? So sometimes there might be field trips or other things that create financial hardship for families, and so there's some discretion for the administration of these funds.
So this is K-12?
No, this is for the high
For
school.
the high school, for the high school. Oh, okay.
Who are the administrators?
Right.
That would be Principal Seidel.
Yeah.
Okay, the principal? I think this is very, very generous and very needed, and really appreciated.
There's been a fund through the student activities count for years
Yeah.
where occasionally an infusion of dollars comes in to help kids who can't afford a field trip, can't get a yearbook when they're graduating, and the principal's discretion to use those funds to help a kid for a manageable cost.
Gotcha.
It's very helpful.
You can go to multiple kids though.
Multiple
100%.
kids, yeah.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. And thank you.
Okay, the third gift is from the Gene Haas Foundation. It's in the amount of $2,750 to go to the robotics club. So Mr. Haas, through his foundation that was established in 1998, has been a supporter of our robotics club since 2018. And so he is making another donation that will be used to purchase supplies and cover expenses incurred by the club. There's a motion there for your consideration.
Move that proposed gift to the SHS Robotics Club at Simsbury High School from Gene Haas Foundation totaling $2,750 be approved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Again, super generous.
Yeah,
This is
Really
unbelievable,
exciting.
right?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great.
And the final gift is from the Simsbury High School SPTC, and it's for 4 scholarships that are in the amount of $500 each that will be awarded to graduating seniors with any sort of post-secondary plans. So these scholarships are meant to help defray any kind of post-secondary training and costs. And it's open to all graduating seniors who have a post-secondary path. So once again, there's a motion there for your consideration.
So is there criteria for distributing the scholarships and determining who gets them?
Yes, it says that it's open to any graduating seniors with articulated post-secondary plans. So this is a more generalized option for students. So this is generally done in conjunction with our school counseling group, our department, who looks over our scholarships annually and distributes those funds based upon the criteria of our scholarships.
So do kids apply for these?
Yeah, is that how it works?
Most senior, Reese, do you wanna speak to that?
Yeah, really.
I mean,
Don't they, all seniors are available to apply
To
to?
apply for
Yeah.
scholarships.
all students are.
And there's tons of
apply for-
emails.
Yeah, there's scholarships for like
Everything.
everything, all like areas of interest.
Yeah.
honestly.
Awards night is, when they give it out, it's like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a lot of very wonderful supporters.
So when that evening comes up, certainly I'll share the date with Florida Ed members for the awards night, because it is quite a wonderful event that supports our students.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
The board
I wasn't sure. I got lost for a second.
I was trying to, but we were talking.
Sure if we-
The SHS SPTC scholarship to be dispersed starting in 2025. Will this be annual?
That's my understanding, yes.
Nice.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Further discussion?
Sorry about that. Was that order?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Thanks to all of them. This is really generous, really fantastic.
That was a fun day. That was fun.
Yeah.
And we're adjourned.
Okay.
Not so much.
So, so we're on to the main attraction for tonight, right? So we're on to the budget.
Yes.
We've had multiple conversations about this. You want to take it from here, or
I could do that for you.
Thank
Sure.
Because you can see me stumbling.
No, so kind of obviously we've gone through the entire process from initial presentations through the workshop, an adjustment kind of downwards from what was the superintendent's budget to a new number of a 3.91% increase. So in the exhibit, I kind of broke that out in its most simplistic form into three categories: our fixed cost increase of 1.61, the operational costs we've gone through on kind of the facility side and other areas that we felt were important is a 1.26% increase, and then those varied special ed costs of an additional little bit over 1%. The point I wanted to make that we discussed in detail at the last board meeting was we are going to receive an additional $845,554 in the educational cost share grant this year. Normally, that revenue goes to the town. It's simply added to the grant, and it's an offset in the overall mill rate kind of equation. It does appear that there are stipulations on those dollars that were in the governor's budget this year that they need to be used specifically for educational purposes, and we highlighted what those were at the last meeting. So one way or the other, those dollars are going to significantly help the overall kind of mill rate equation. But what I want to make the point of tonight, it's actually the equivalent of almost a full % of our operating budget, which would put us at that 2.9%, 2.8% guideline that they had. So based on where we are in the overall picture of the reductions we made on staff, the reductions we had in insurance favorability, and these dollars, the Board of Education equation comes in pretty favorably based on where the guidance was. We're going to have to see, we present next week to the Board of Finance how exactly we'll manage this kind of last movement of the dollars. Is it going to be required that we take that back and actually kind of account for it on our operating, or are we going to do it on the finance side? So we'll discuss that moving forward. But I wanted to make the point again that influx of dollars is significant. ECS does not move year to year like that. You know, it might move 80,000, might move 100,000. This is a major move that signifies that, yeah, when they looked at the equation and the refinement and the legislation there, Simsbury had been underfunded. So certainly it is helpful in the overall equation this year. And I just wanted to put kind of a value on that as we kind of continue to look at how these dollars look moving forward. I don't want to have us approve a 2.92 tonight without knowing the mechanics of that. So I think my recommendation would be the 3.92. We'll move forward and make that adjustment. We may have to come back after the Board of Finance and do an additional conversation on that. We've done that before if there are, kind of reductions and look at that as an offset. But one way or the other, it's going to be an offset to the operating cost.
And this is expected to just be a 1 year increase?
No. It's $852,000 to the base that will move forward.
Oh, going forward,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so it's an adjustment in the formula.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
significant.
Matt, sorry, to the base, which number is it? To the base, when you say to the base?
Oh, it's about, I don't have it, I can look in the book.
No, like,
6 million?
no, just the base, like what we,
I was talking the base ECS number,
oh,
is what I was referring to. Sorry about that.
So to say what Matt said a little differently, 3.9 is not really 3.9, so that's kind of the point.
yeah, I just wasn't sure
So-
we did like fixed.
Yeah.
Special, that like chart you
Yeah,
had.
I understand, yeah.
Any
You got the same term applying to too many buckets.
Right. It's true. Anything, any other questions? Discussion?
About budget or anything in general?
Budget,
Yeah.
yeah, prior to,
I just want to say that I think the whole process this year has been great, from the budget workshop at the beginning all the way through to tonight. I appreciate everyone on this board kind of setting some political stuff aside when we come in here. We're all doing what's best for the teachers, the students, obviously, and with the support of the administration, obviously. It's just been a great process, I think, this year. So I'm very pleased.
Anybody want to make the motion?
I'll do it. Move that the Board of Education adopt the 2025-26 public school budget in the amount of $89,160,028, which represents an increase of $3,359,659, or 3.91%.
Second?
Any discussion?
I have to agree with Brian. I think that I felt like we talked about all details going through and we touched it how many times now?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that every time you touch it and you can refine it and look at it more closely is always, you know what we're doing and we are, I'm happy with going forward with it.
And I'll add that the implementation, I think, of the Finance Committee was a massive help this year, for me personally.
I think that it's just important not to cut to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always where we run into the risk of our students and are a priority in making sure they get educated and have success is our responsibility.
Appreciate all the work. Mr. Curtis?
I would agree with Tara on that, right? I think it's a fair budget for this year. I think I said it in multiple meetings, right? I feel like there's an element here, right? It's not just don't cut to the bone, but keep moving forward, right? So I think the whole special ed, thinking outside the box, being strategic, I think that was great by you and your group. I think, right, to your point, we want to keep moving forward, right? Education is something this town's proud of, and we want to keep moving forward in a positive.
I just want to say, I echo what everybody said. I think this was a really good process. It was a tough process, right? I appreciate everybody saying what we did. It was hard, right? I think if we went around the table, we would all have a little project or something we would have liked funded or going forward that we all feel is pretty important. But we all kind of put that aside, and, understanding the fiscal realities that are out there. So just greatly appreciate everybody's work on this and taking it serious. And I think we all, although I think we all feel good about it, I think we feel a little bit uneasy as well. So I think that probably means it's a good budget, right? So anyways, with that said, I'll stop talking.
Well, I think you're right though, Jeff, because I think with so much uncertainty at the federal level and at the state level, and bring it home down to a local level, this board has always kept its priorities intact of what's best for the school system. And we've never wavered from that, and I don't think that we plan on doing that because we know how to deliver a product to our students, to our community, and it's greatly appreciated and accepted.
All those in favor?
We have a second.
Did we have a second?
We had
I think we had a second, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
Second. Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. 7-0. Great. So that moves us to our second public audience. Anybody? It's not. So now we needed a motion to adjourn to executive session. where we're gonna discuss the evaluation of the superintendent.
I will move to adjourn to executive session.
Thank you. Do we need a second?
You do need a second.
Second, alright. Do we need a vote?
Yep.
Okay.
You do.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?